I'm going to be giving you a question like one of these soon, so I think it would be helpful for me to go through how you write these lines of code together. And it looks confusing at first. This first question wants you to rearrange the lines of code so they actually make sense. It's giving you all the program, but it's not going to run in this order. You have errors. It says you didn't produce the correct output. Well, okay. Imports always go at the top, so that's fine. What do we want to do in the end? We want to print the cans of paint needed. So print cans. So that looks like it belongs at the end. It's just what's in the middle. So cans is being calculated right here. That's our end result. So I would imagine that should go right there. Calculate cans, then print it. What do we need when we're calculating cans? All rooms and one can coverage. So one can coverage is right here, and we've got two numbers. We can put that anywhere in the program we want because it's not dependent on anything above. All rooms is up here, and that's 20 times 1. At the very beginning, we don't know what the value of 1 is, so that can't be there. We have to know what 1 is first. So 1 is big plus small. There's big and small. I'm going to put all rooms down here. So 1 is dependent on big and small. They can't come after. They're going to have to go above. All right, so if I move big to the top, it's not dependent on anything. It's just going to multiply two numbers. Small, same deal. Multiply two numbers. 1 is dependent on knowing the values for big and small, so it has to come after. All rooms is dependent on knowing the value for 1, so it has to come after. One can coverage can go anywhere we want, so I can leave it there or I can move it, doesn't matter. I might as well leave it there because it's being used in the next line. And if I try to run this now, I get the value of 4. Let's see what it says for hint. All right, that's what we did. Next one. Write a program that prints the total bill for the cost of a $40 meal. So it's a $40 meal. So I'm going to right away say, okay, I have something called meal cost, and it's 40. I'm going to just take notes as I read the instructions. 13% tax, 50% tip, those are already in here, good. The tip should be calculated based on the cost of the meal alone. Okay, so I would say tip amount equals, the tip is 15%, so we're going to take the meal cost and multiply that by the 0.15, and that tells us the tip amount. So the tip should be calculated based on the cost of the meal alone, not the tax. And the tax should be calculated based on the cost of the meal alone, not the tip. So I'm going to do something similar here. Oh, if tip happens to change, I don't want to hard code it. I'm going to put tip here, and I'm going to put tax here, and this is the tax amount. That way, if for some reason the tax or the tip amounts that we want to include change, they get changed up at the top, but our program should still run. Now, you are going to print, we're going to print total cost. So we want to print the cost of the meal plus the tip amount plus the tax amount, and spell it right. Will that give me a check mark? Yay! So it should be $51.20. Next question. Write a program that prints the area of wrapping paper needed. So I want area to cover a box with the dimensions specified by the variable assignments in the code box. Okay, so that's the size of my box, and I need to find out it's actually, whoops, surface area. Let me see. Surface area. I need to find the area length times width of the top, length times width of the bottom. Those are the same. So 2 times length times width plus, I've got 2 ends, so that's 2 times, so if this is the length and this is the width, I've got width and height. Width times height plus 2 times, okay, now if I'm looking at this, that's height and length. Did you notice that when I type in LEN, it turns red and bold? That's because it recognizes LEN as a reserved word. But I didn't stop there. I continued on, so then it went back to regular printing again. So now I want to print what was calculated and hope that we're going to actually get the right answer. And I got a green check. Yay! So I got the right answer. What's next? Change your program to print the area of wrapping paper needed to cover a box for which 35.2 is the width, length, and height. So this is my program. So now 35.2 is the width. It's a cube. They're all the same. For your new solution, the only changes needed were in the definitions of the variable. Oh, yeah, okay. It looks like I got it right. I just wasn't sure when I saw the note pop up. Okay, next one. Write a program that prints the total length of ribbon needed to wrap a box with the dimensions specified by the variable assignments in the code box. So I have width, length, height, extra. So how much ribbon will I need? Amount equals. So I need 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So that's this top and the bottom, this top and the bottom. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 4 times height plus however much extra I need. So have I used everything that is here? Width, length, height, extra. Okay. Do I get the right answer? Yes, I do. Okay, next. Write a program that prompts the user for a string of length at least 2. Okay, so we'll start with that. Input, enter a string of at least length 2. All right. And entry equals. Does that work? I can see if that works. I'm going to go to the Python panel, run it. It says enter string of at least length 2. Enter. Good. All right. So that looks like it worked, but it's gone now. It's gone from there too. I'll have to type it again. Okay. Now it says, and then prints a string formed by exchanging the first and last characters in the string provided by the user. So here's my string. I want to switch what comes at the beginning and what's at the end. So let's create a variable. I'm going to take the one at the end. How do I get to the end? I've got my entry, and I want to get the index of the very end. I think that's how it works. End equals entry. Now this gives me the last, that gives me the length of my string. And if I subtract one, I'll get the index for my last character. Because remember, length is one more than the last index. Okay, so now I want to split my string, but I want to start with end. So I'm going to print end concatenated with entry starting at 1 and ending with this entry length entry. Whoops. Okay. Starting at index 1, going all the way to the end, but I don't want the very end, because at the very end, I want to put the first character on, which is at entry 0. Okay, so does this make sense? Take what I figured out to be the last character, put that at the beginning. And at the end, I'm going to put the first character, the one at index 0. And then I'm going to split entry by leaving off the first character and starting at 1, and leaving off the last character because I'm going to end at length -1. Do I have all my brackets that I need? I think so. I'm going to try it. Enter a string. Okay. I'm going to type mystery. So the Y from the end came at the beginning, and the M came at the end, and there's a second Y here, so Y-S-T-E-R. Y-S-T-E-R. It seems to have worked, and I got a green check. Yay. Okay. Write a program that prompts a user for an input string of length of at least 2 and prints the string with the first half in uppercase. Okay, so first of all, entry equals input, enter a string of at least 2 characters. Okay, we know that works. So the first half is in uppercase. So I need the first half. I'm going to get a first half, and I'm going to get a second half. So the first half is entry, starting at 0, and where do I end? I end at entry. Okay, so the length of entry, the full length, so if it's, say, 8 characters long, I want to get the number 4, so I'm going to take that and divide by 4. Oh, but I want to make sure that I'm not going to get a double or a floating point number. So I'm going to put 2 slashes here because that'll give me an int. I have to have an int for split to work. So I've got starting with the first character and ending with the middle character. But I want to, if it's length 8, whoops, not divide by 4, divide by 2. If it's length 8, I divide by 2, I get the number 4. But I want to include 4, so I'm going to say plus 1. This is very confusing. So there's my first half. If the length of the string is odd, so let's say the length is 9, the second half should be 1 character longer than the first half. So if the length is 9, we divide by 2 and we get 4. I think this will work. We'll have to see and make adjustments. So now I want length of entry divided by 2, and I have to say plus 1 again, and I'm going to go right to the end, so I don't have to do any more than that. And it says the first half in uppercase and the second half in lowercase. Okay, so now we want to print first half dot upper concatenated with second half dot lower. Let's see. When run with the input, okay, let's try that. A, B, no wait, I'm going backwards. C, C, D, D. Enter. Okay. I'm going to say print entry. I'm going to actually go to my Python panel and try some things. Okay, so we have typed that in, and that has length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it's making 5. I have too many in the first half. So I'm going to have to take this plus 1 away and run it again. Okay, A, B, B, C, C, D, D. Run. Oops, I hit run instead of enter. Okay, enter. So I now have 4 but I'm missing my last character. Wait, A, A, B, B, I'm missing my first character here, so I think I need to take that away too. All right, I'm going to go back. I think I have my answer. Run. Okay. A, B, B, C, C, D, D. I'm going to put an odd number in. Whoops, and I clicked on the mouse instead of, I have trouble with the enter key, don't I? Okay, enter. There we go. Did it work? I think it did. I get a green check. Yay. So my first half, I went from 0 to the length divided by 2. Second half went from length divided by 2 to the end. And then I printed first half in uppercase, second half in lowercase. All right, last question. Target heart rate can be obtained by adding the resting heart rate. So I'm going to take notes as we go along here. So target heart rate can be obtained by adding the resting heart rate. So I see above that it says rest heart. So I'm going to say resting heart rate. So I'm adding that to the product of the intensity and the heart rate reserve. The product, so that's multiply, heart rate reserve. I don't have anything called heart rate reserve up here. I have the resting heart rate, I have the intensity, but this is something I don't have yet. So there's got to be something for that in here. So the heart rate reserve, oh good, is the difference between the maximum heart rate and the resting heart rate. So it's the difference. So we're going to subtract here. So we want to subtract the maximum heart rate and the resting heart rate. And we have rest heart above. Okay, but this maximum heart rate we don't have yet. So that's got to be up here somewhere. So the maximum heart rate is calculated as, oh good, we can figure this out, 220 minus the age, and we have age above. For the values given at it, print the target. Okay, and there it is. Phew. So how do you feel about those types of questions? I would like to give you something like that as an exercise for you to do, which I'm going to mark, and I will be doing that this week. So get through the storing and using information section. Hopefully my videos have helped.